I was first at university here in 1968 as a student, and that was quite a, although I wasn't interested in those days, it was quite a year of political protest. All sorts of things happened, and there were marches and things that went on all the time. Since then, I've been up and down at the university in different capacities, working as a cleaner for a few years, and also as more recently as campaigns coordinator for the Students' Association. I did that just 2 or 3 years ago for 18 months, working with the campaigns officer, basically to organise protests about things students were concerned about. Now, when I was doing that, I was at several fee-sitting meetings, and the thing that strikes me is that they were all pretty similar. They were all pretty similar. There was, unfortunately, always a relatively small number of students were involved, and we would go along to the Hunter building. One time we occupied it and stayed overnight. We were always a bit rowdy, and there were insults thrown to the people at the meeting. There were also projectiles, usually in the form of paper darts, stuff like that. This year, same thing happened, and the result was, after the usual yelling and scuffles with the security guards, the same as we had had for several years, this time 2 of the participants were trespassed from the university for 2 years.
Universities have always been a political hotbed. In the 60s in America, we had the anti-Vietnam movement, which started off with 1 or 2 individuals and rapidly turned into a massive international campaign against US imperialism. In Paris in '68, we had a huge industrial revolution. The students got behind that and turned into a massive campaign, without which, without the students being there, it would never have been such a significant movement as it had been. And today in Greece and South America, student bodies literally run universities. The political ideas and theories and thoughts have come into fruition, have actually lived through, and are now living those ideals. And so when it comes to Big Uni, 2 students choosing to air and express their opinions will suddenly find they're being excluded for 2 years.
Some people say, but this time was different. This time was different, so through years. Now, in my book, there is no difference in terms of damage between an egg and a paper dart. They are both symbolic, harmless things. Okay, so that's what I would say to those people who are hung up about eggs and about the technical letter of the law, assault. The real assault took place behind closed doors when, yet again, the students' fees went up to a maximum. Now, the damage that has caused over the years, I know from talking to people, has been to actually drive some students out of the university because they cannot afford what it takes to get a tertiary education. To me, that is a violent assault on someone's condition of life. To say that an egg or an orange, I think it was, apparently quite a large orange, an egg or an orange is in the same category, I think it's bullshit, because what I think we should be concerned about is not the letter of the law, but a bit of natural justice. Okay, so my observation is that this time there has been a change in the authorities, and it is a bit of a part of a pattern in terms of intolerance of student protest. Before this incident, just a few months before, there was a flag burning out in the rain outside the bar. Ian here, who's filming this meeting now, was also filming the flag being burnt, right? And he got punished for that. He had his studies disrupted, expelled from the university for that period of time. Now, this is quite honestly, getting beyond a joke.
It screams in the face of any political or open debate at the university level. It's not only an attack on one or two individuals here, it's an attack on all of you. It's an attack on the rights of students to think freely and actually to take and put into practice those thoughts and those beliefs.
Now, the university has always sort of laid claim to being a conscience of society and a place where ideas can clash, and that's, you know, there's something in that. But a university, like anything else, is a contradiction. It's got two parts to it. A university is also a place of privilege where people are brought up to be the next lot of rulers for society, and that conditions the way that they run the university to a degree. And what is happening in recent times is that the corporate controlling side of the university is in ascendancy, and it's getting beyond control. Now, the effects of this 2 years punishment have already been felt to some extent. Helene wasn't able to go to her sister's concert the other day. She was doing a special concert. She's a music student, trespass from the university, can't go to that. Now, you know, these things are important in people's lives.
Not only are they being excluded, it's the method in which it's been done as well is highly questionable from a union's point of view, and also just from an activist point of view. The idea of having security guards banging on someone's front door demanding to speak to individuals who have been at the meeting is horrific. When asked if the security guards had any identification or was prepared to even say who they were, all they said was that they were staff from the uni and refused to even give their full name and details. And secondly, the way in which the exclusion notice has been handed out. Joel's actually received 2 notices in the post in recent days informing him that he has been excluded from the university. As far as I'm aware, Helene still hasn't actually been given any official documentation. And as far as I'm aware, any kind of notice like this has to be handed over in person, has to be handed in physically, given to that person. So this whole affair is ludicrous.
Now, the question is, I think, what is to be done about this. I can report to you that at 4 o'clock this afternoon, Joel and Helene took legal advice, and they were presented with a range of options, and they're considering those. There are several options that they can take. It's not just an automatic thing that they can pull a lever and shut people out of the university, and they're considering those options at the moment. We have got an appeal that we would like to put to this meeting to continue on after this, but before getting on to putting that forward, I'd just like to ask if there is any questions, or if anyone has got something that they would like to say about this matter, anything at all. Well, this room is a place where you can have free speech. Yeah.